Assalamu alaikum, Adab. I am Nowrin Ibnath Prapti. I am here to present my today's topic. My topic is carbohydrate. Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to present this topic. So let's start with my presentation. Carbohydrate. What is carbohydrate? Let's see the example first. These two molecules are carbohydrate molecules. This is glucose and this is fructose. Here we can see that some hydroxyl group is attached with the carbon atom, and in glucose there is an aldehyde group is attached and fructose and ketone group is attached. So the definition of carbohydrate is carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones that yields on hydrolysis. Why this is called carbohydrate? From the general formula we can see that some water molecule is attached with carbon. So it is called carbohydrate, which means hydrated carbon. Classification of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are classified into 4 types: monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides are the simplest carbohydrate. Monosaccharides are again classified based on 2 categories. One is based on their functional group and other is based on their number of carbon atoms. Based on their functional group, carbohydrates are 2 types: aldose and ketose. Aldose are those which have the aldehyde functional group, for example glucose, and ketones are those which have ketone functional group, for example fructose. Based on their number of carbon atoms, these are classified as trioses, tetroses, pentoses, hexoses and heptoses. Disaccharide. Disaccharides are those which have 2 monomeric units. For example, sucrose. Sucrose has 1 mole of glucose and 1 mole of fructose. Oligosaccharides are those which have 3 to 10 monomeric units. Polysaccharides are those which have more than 10 monomeric units. Polysaccharides are again classified into 2 categories. One is homopolysaccharides and other is heteropolysaccharides. These are some examples of carbohydrates. Stereochemistry of carbohydrate, D and N designation. Here in carbohydrate there are some chiral carbon. These 4 are chiral carbon. Here the highest number of chiral carbon, if the highest number of chiral carbon have the hydroxyl group on the right side, it is designated as D, and if the hydroxyl group is on the left side, it is designated as L. Here the hydroxyl group on 5th carbon of glucose is on the right side, so it is D-glucose, and here the hydroxyl group is on the left side, so it is designated as L-glucose. Epimers. Epimers are carbohydrates which vary in one position for the placement of the hydroxyl group. In D-glucose and D-mannose, in C2 carbon the hydroxyl group is on, in D-glucose the hydroxyl group is on the right side, and D-mannose the hydroxyl group is on the left side, and the other configuration is same. So these 2 are epimers. And this process of conversion from one epimer to another is called epimerization. Anomers are cyclic carbohydrates that are epimers at C1 configuration in aldehydes and at C2 configuration in ketones. These 2 are epimers of each other. Here the hydroxyl group at C1 position is in downward position and at C2 is upward position. So this is in which the hydroxyl group is downward position, this is designated as alpha anomer, and in which the hydroxyl group is upward position, this is designated as beta. This process is called anomerization. And in this process the optical rotation changes, and the change of optical rotation is called mutarotation. Oxidation of carbohydrates. When the aldehyde group of carbohydrates is reacted with hydrogen perbromide, only the aldehyde group is converted into carboxylic group. But when it is reacted with nitric acid, this is the both end is converted into carboxylic group. When only the aldehyde group is converted, it is called aldonic acid, and when both the end is converted, it is called aldaric acid. Reduction of carbohydrate. When aldose is reacted with sodium borate, it produces an alditol. Alditol is an alicyclic alcohol. Here, D-glucose is reacted with sodium borate, which produces D-sorbitol. This is all about my presentation. Thank you, everyone.